I think we've lost our guest. Speak Podcast, we're here. We've got Rob.
Where are we?
And Adam. No wave, no nut. There's a camera there. You always act like there's a camera. We got Mike and Uncle Chuck. No? There we go. We're at Grand Junction Brewing, the tap house off of 181st. And the man behind the beer?
The head brewer, I guess. Yes, that's fair.
It's the internet. You don't have to be modest.
I'm not a brewmaster. Brewmaster is a bullshit title. If you're a master of something, then you should stop doing it. If I master beer, then I'll quit.
What about baiting? I heard master baiting's okay.
Whoa. I mean, are you debating or are you masturbating? Okay, well, that's fair. I mean, you.
For the record, I'm sure the microphone picked up none of that. But my question would be like, what about LeBron James? Does it get any better? I mean, come on. He's a master. He still plays.
He has a master's degree?
We need to develop a better technique for passing the mic.
I think we just need to let Pete talk. I think that's probably the easiest way to go about this.
He seems like the one in the group that likes to talk the most. I can tell by his luxurious hair.
My flowing locks?
Too far behind, though.
I desperately need a haircut.
Well, Rob, I've had several beers, and I'm going to need at least one intelligent question to start us off, so pose a question.
What is the meaning of life?
Beer.
That's acceptable.
Finn. Cut.
This is kind of something that we've started asking everybody that we interview in the beer world. So, obviously, if we asked you what's your favorite beer, you would say the beer that you brew, because otherwise it's... is there like a specific style that you prefer more than others? Is there something that Grand Junction kind of trends more towards than anybody else, or just in general? Is this like an IPA shop, a stout shop?
No, it is not an IPA shop. It will never be an IPA shop. Really, man, I come from a strong German background, so one of the first things I did when I took over was put in basically a lager program. I have a 7-barrel tank back there that throughout this entire year might see 7 days that it doesn't have beer in it. Fully lagering. No, none of these half-ass lagers. Full lager. Been doing a lot of lagering. But man, we do, I have 10 to 12 beers on it all the time. From hoppy to light to, big malt bombs, to just easy drinkers.
Porters.
Yeah, yes, award-winning porters. Thank you, Charlie. So yes, I'm not a big fan of medals. I don't care. I'm a strong believer in the fact that if you work hard for your money. So if you come in and bring your money in and you're willing to spend $6 on a pint of beer that I made, that I worked my ass off making, that's good by me. That's the best medal that I need. But yeah, I did. We pulled a couple medals this year for the Brewers Cup. We got silver medal for the Dark Road Porter, which we'll be putting in cans for the first time ever on Monday. 16-ounce hogs. Pretty excited for it. Get to see the boys from Indiana Mobile. I haven't seen them in a while since hearkening back to the days of Flat 12 before they had their own canning line. Fancy boys, you. But yeah, so that, and then pulled a nice bronze medal for the Mulligan, Scotch Ale, another beer. If you haven't noticed, we lean malty around here, and I lead that charge. Charlie will attest to the fact that my hoppy beers aren't bad, but Charlie could always use a little more hops in them. I think everybody probably could. But this week I brewed the one with nature, which is our base IPA. I took a lot of my malt character out, so we shall see how the masses feel about it. But yeah, man, it's we're definitely English influenced. Euro styles a lot. Some of them are straight to that style. 1520, our Hefeweizen. The Squirrel Stampede, which is the English Nut Brown, very true to the style. But the last lager I did was Opus Liebling, German Pale Lager. Not really a style, but it fits. It works. It's not a Helles, and it's not a Maibach, so.
Oh.
Spilling the medals.
Party foul. Definite party foul. So if you're big on the German styles, and I know Adam and Pete generally hate this kind, but for me, you ever going to do a Rauch beer?
Yes, man. Smoked beers are coming. They will be coming. I've got a few things in my back pocket right now that I've just been waiting for this weather to turn.
Other than Charlie?
Charlie doesn't fit in my back pocket. I keep him in my front pocket. But no, man, it's, the weather started to change. I started to knock out a few darker, little maltier beers, and now the next 2 weeks looks like it's going to average about 87 degrees every day. So I got a few things I'm just sitting on waiting. But yeah, you'll get some smokiness here for sure.
All right, I had a couple of goals. The first was actually a discussion about the style. The second is you've got some upcoming releases, some additional things being in cans, some additional events. And we tend to just train wreck after the first couple minutes. So while we're still all coherent, what you got upcoming, what you throwing in cans, what's new and exciting?
All right. So next week on Wednesday we will have our pumpkin ale. Will be available. I didn't want to make it, but I know people like it, so I made it. It's got 170 pounds of pureed pumpkin in it. So if I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it all the way. It took me a full day afterwards to clean my entire brew system, so I hope everyone really enjoys it. Because I did not enjoy making it, nor did I enjoy the second day of cleaning up after it. But it's a solid beer. If pumpkin's your thing, you're really going to dig this beer. I also have my Meritzen working, fully lagered. Just crashed her this week. She's going to sit mid-sixes, nice, caramel notes, clean, crisp, and still has plenty of those lager qualities that you're looking for. Like I said, the porter is going to go into cans for the first time on Monday. We're going to release those on Wednesday to our Junction Club members, which are basically our VIPs. And then on Thursday, everyone else will be able to come up here and purchase them. I have a few things cooking right now. I have a big tap takeover going on up at Copacetic Brewing with Sean Manahan up in Monticello. The first Friday of November, we are going to throw down a little collaboration. I will say it's going to be dark and deep and fluffy.
So what does it take to be a VIP member? What do you get the...
So basically what we have is we call it the Junction Club. We offer it usually starting around November. We open up enrollment. And then pretty much you pay your money, and essentially what that gives you $1 off pints all the time, no matter what. If a pint is on super special for like $3 a pint, you get it for $2. $1 off bullet fills all the time. So on days when bullets are already like $7, you get them for $6. $2 off growlers all the time. There's percentages off for merchandise. And then also for food, appetizers, things of that nature. If you're a Junction Club member and you live anywhere near here and you visit us about once a week, you pretty much pay for your membership within about 7 or 8 months.
Are you guys going to have some more of those sweet Walter White shirts?
Could you please speak into the microphone, Charlie, please?
You can repeat my question if you'd like.
Well played. The question was, are you going to have any more of those sweet Walter White t-shirts other than the one hanging on the fence? He said,
That's a strong no.
Copyright infringement?
Brewer does not approve infringement.
Adam, I defer to you for a stupid question.
If you could be any type of horse, unicorn, Pegasus, or pony, what would you be?
Wow. Well, I know. I mean, I guess I would be a unicorn, but like, I feel like I'm already a unicorn. I definitely shit excellence. So,
You're more like a bear.
berry unicorn? Bear horse? So a minotaur? I guess I'm a minotaur. It has been decided. Minotaur it is.
I mean, that's
Is that acceptable?
it'll do. It'll do.
So, just so you can get even for that shit show of a question, we have a bit of a tradition on the Speak podcast where we ask Adam, the undisputed intellectual champion of sports. We ask him sports questions. So normally the way we work is we ask him a question. It's usually like a sports term, sometimes with great amounts of innuendo. And he has to name the sport and define the term. If you've got one off the top of your head, you being the guest, you certainly have the privilege.
I think I'm going to defer to Chuck. This feels like this is right in his wheelhouse. Charlie, give him one.
Any term.
Any term. Just sports term.
Just a sports term.
Sports term. You don't have to. And it doesn't matter if it's repeated because he doesn't remember the ones that we ask him from week to week anyway. So.
Or if you want to ask him a prison term, that,
I don't know. There it was. We've had many prison conversations. Can of corn. Prison first. It's a sports question.
Well, obviously, I mean, is cornhole a recognized Olympic sport yet? Because it would obviously be like, obviously when you do cornhole, you got to make the hole in it. So I think you have to get a can of corn and you make a marker around it, and then you get your bandsaw, hacksaw, hammer, and then you hammer the hole out.
You definitely hammer the hole out.
I mean, I think you just keep pounding it till it comes out.
are those all the tools that you know?
Screwdriver, level, ladder.
That's fair. We'll count that.
Charlie, we're going to need the sport.
Baseball.
I thought you were going to. A can of corn in baseball. Well, there's 9 innings, so obviously people get hungry. So I think it's just basically when you're taking a break, like you just take a break and you eat the corn. I don't know what else you could possibly. I mean, 4.5, because I mean that's obviously halfway through. Then it's like get a corn break, and then everybody eats their can of corn, and then they continue. Sometimes it's delayed by weather, of course, but yeah, typically they get to eat it. Nailed it.
He's going to need a hint.
It involves. Oh gosh, it's. Yes, I don't know how to give you a hint. An outfielder is involved.
He doesn't know what that is. He has no idea what that's.
It's somebody that's in the outfield, and they usually have to catch the balls. So it's a ball catcher. So a can of corn,
So is Adam.
something I'm deeply intimate with. Yeah, so basically it's just a type of ball catch, I would assume.
Could we get the definition?
Easy pop fly, camps out under it, waiting, can of corn, drops right into his glove. So yes, it was a catch made by the guy in the outfield.
Adam, what's a pop fly?
Basically when somebody hits it, it goes straight up, and it goes up and up and up, and then it comes down and they catch it.
I was really expecting you just to drop the microphone. Go ahead. Pizza there.
I was impressed.
So, there's 2 locations for Grand Junction. One in town, one on the outskirts, the Outlands.
Yeah, it's like a full 1.2 miles away. But yeah, sure.
So, do you just get free reign to do what you want, go full Mad Max here in the Outlands, or I mean,
We saw your car.
Well, to an extent, literally on the other side of 31 is Westfield High School. So if we do anything that is potentially of concern, we usually prefer to do it on the west side of the building, the furthest away from the school. That way we don't have any issues.
Any further issues?
Well, I mean, if you know the right people, there's never really any issues.
What kind of setup are you guys running here? And I would imagine with the increased space, it's probably different than what you were running in town.
Yep. So basically, I'm running a 7-barrel full electric system. I have 5 7-barrel fermenters. I have 2 14-barrel fermenters. And then I have 5 7-barrel bright tanks, unjacketed. Also have a 1-barrel.
Jacket.
Come on, man. It's always not about jacking at him. Not all the time. I'm sorry. Unfortunately. It can be, if you want it to be, but not in brewing. Not all the time. Sometimes we have to work. It's all about the carbonation, Adam. But no, then I have a 1-barrel pilot system. I just hired a new fucking new guy, which is basically what they're referred to, greenhorn, if you will. If you ever watched the old crab show on TV. But we call him fucking... If you're ever into crabs. Yeah, if you're into crabs, man, but no, we call him fucking new guys. Good kid, man. I think he's going to do all right. I basically pushed him on kegs for 3.5 weeks, and he hasn't bitched or complained at all. So I think he's going to make it. So I'm going to give him another 2 weeks of nothing but kegs. And if he holds on, then I might let him see about the 1-barrel pilot system. But yeah, man, it's a nice system. Banging some beers out. Double days suck. But filling 14 barrels of beer up, knowing full well I don't have to mess with that beer for a while, is a very wonderful feeling.
What do you not have that you want?
What do I not have that I want? Yeah, no, I have that, Charlie. Honestly, man, I'm pretty happy, dude. I mean, I came from a lot of places where we didn't have shit. So to not have to MacGyver everything and have a lot of things that I need is awesome. But honestly, I'd say my only complaint, but it's not really a complaint anymore because I have the fucking new guy, is mashing out. I'd love to have my mash tun to have some rakes and to have it lifted up so I can just mash out right into my bin and be done with it, because shoveling it out still sucks.
What I'm hearing is maybe you need a little guy to get in and really thoroughly clean the equipment.
Would I drown?
No, what he needs is a guy of any size who will actually do work. Yeah, no, never. Not once in his life. Not at all.
I have another sports question. Term. This is, I will tell you right up front, baseball. Ducks on the pond.
Ducks on the pond is sometimes they play baseball in the rain and there's 9 innings again. So like sometimes you just shit in a puddle and it's ducks on the pond.
That seems more like geese.
No, but
Is it UK baseball? Is it cricket?
I'm going to save us all a lot of time and just go ahead and let you know that there are very few sports terms that deal with defecating on the field. It's not usually a thing that happens in most sports.
Then where does the phrase shit the bed come from? No, I really want to know, where does the phrase shit the bed come from?
I'm sorry, that's not a sports question. The gentleman in the stupid hair is out of order.
and that comes from my bed. What was it? Ducks on the pond? Ducks. Does that mean that you have too many players in the field?
Too many ducks on the pond.
So yeah, it's like we got a 10 count duck.
It only applies if you're on offense.
Adam, do you know the difference between offense and defense?
Well, offense is when your stats in video games is mostly damage, but defense is when you can toss up a shield. So,
Hey, well done, sir.
yeah,
You have to roll a 7.
so I think you have assault rifles at that point. I don't even have a fake guess. I did my best. Do you even know?
No, but I'm not at.
If you don't know, though, you should at least try. Somebody else can actually try to answer one. It's always me.
No, I mean, it is always you. That's your thing. I can't rob you of your thing. Otherwise, what do you have?
There's ducks on the pond. I mean, that you have. It's like something that when the offense has 3 people on base, so there's 3 ducks on a pond, and the next hit could be all the runs, which goes back to shitting the bed. But I mean, I think that's it.
Ducks on the pond. Ducks on the pond. You have runners on base.
Second one nailed.
Your mic drop is the most effeminate thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
Just really heavy.
Obama did a better job. I try to make political humor. Do it. Give me a good one.
I don't know how far I can drop it from.
As long as you hit the box, it's fine. No. This is all the derailing that I was referring to earlier. I don't think that any of what was filmed on the video camera, but I don't think that will quite make it to air without being pixelated at the very least. What is it that you want people to know about Grand Junction? We've talked about kind of what makes you unique. Central Indiana is getting, I guess, better and better about options. So other than you've discussed kind of your preferred styles and things of that nature, but what about Grand Junction? You know, the beer, the locations, the people, what makes it unique and kind of stand out and different than the other spots here?
Well, I mean, I've worked at other breweries, a lot of them downtown. You know, a lot of people preach community, but it was hard to be, really tied into the community downtown because there's so many options. When I came up here, the biggest thing that I noticed was how truly tied into the community this place is, man. I mean, for God's sakes, we do Rock the Junction every year. That's our festival. It's a good time. It's fun. All profits that we make from that, we donate. We gave 2 scholarships away to a high school. I challenge you to find another brewery that the high school gave them the okay to do it, but then gave 2 scholarships. 1 scholarship for a traditional 4-year, and then as the brewer, I made the other scholarship be for somebody who was not in a traditional 4-year school. So trade school, art school, culinary training, whatever the hell it is.
Homeschool?
Homeschool teacher? But yeah, man, I mean, that's the biggest thing up here, man. We're very tied into the community, and it's the community gives back to us, we talked about it a little bit before we came on air. I'm cooking. I'm doing at least 2 batches a week, so I'm turning out 14 barrels pretty much every week of beer. Depending on the week, I'm going through anywhere from 7 to all 14 of those barrels, all through these 2 front doors. The tap room and downtown. So, we do not dismiss how much our community takes care of us. So we make sure to take care of them, and it's. It's been a very big change for me from being downtown, but it's been a wonderful thing because growing up in northern Indiana, a small town, Westfield gives me a little bit of that while still being able to run back in and be inside the loop when I go home. So I still get all the wonderful things of being in the big city, but every day for work, I get to come out here and be a little bit out in the quote-unquote country to some of you city folk.
Is it Gary? Are you from Gary?
No, the other side of northern Indiana. That'll be the northeast corner. I'm from Auburn, north of Fort Wayne.
No, I don't have jokes about that. That's my biggest problem. If you said, Crown Point or something, I could work with that, but...
Ain't no region rats, bro.
Maryville?
No.
What's close that I can make fun of?
Fort Wayne, Angola.
I mean, it's not like Tipton, which would be around here. I got jokes for Tipton. Yes, the Tipton Blue Devils. Good work, Adam. That's the name of a sports team, a high school sports team.
Three sports questions correct.
No, I will say, fun fact though, out of Auburn, my hometown, there's actually 3 head brewers that came out of my little itty bitty tiny town. Myself, Jamie Peters is up at Tapestry up in Michigan, and then Dave Tomaszewski is up at Summit City in Fort Wayne.
All right, rapid fire questions. Who's the best brewer?
Oh, obviously myself.
Who smoked the most weed in high school?
And no one. We were good children.
Who had the hottest mom?
I don't know Dave's mom. Porter. Probably, yeah. My son does have a pretty hot mom. I'm gonna say Jamie, man. Jamie, definitely.
And if you're looking to score booze on a Friday, who's buying?
Well, we're brewers, man. We don't buy.
I guess I meant then, when you weren't smoking weed, apparently.
Well, it was Jamie because Jamie had older siblings, so it was much easier.
Jamie's older siblings, were they hot?
I don't know, but they got us booze.
I mean, really, those are the crux of most of my questions. Are they hot, and do they party?
Didn't you used to be a Fed?
Yes, I was employed by your federal government very briefly. I feel that's important to note.
Very, very briefly.
I like to bring it up as often as I can. Your government paid me to carry a firearm. Just throwing that out there.
You didn't even get to the firearm. Didn't you have a wooden gun?
Please.
Point of order. It was not wooden? Yes. It's, when you're at academy, they tend not to let you just wander around with a loaded firearm. But they don't want you to have an empty holster either, so they do give you a red training gun when you're not at the range.
So it matched your hair?
I don't know how this turned into me. We were all having a good time until we started making fun of Pete.
No, we're still having a good time doing that. I mean, you might not be, but I got to tell you, there's nobody here who gives a flying fuck. So
I like this better.
Anything to get the word fuck on air, eh?
I get to use it so seldom.
Fuck.
Anyone else? Fucks? Fucks all around?
I think I have a good amount already in there.
I was so nervous when I said it.
It was absolutely the cutest fuck ever.
That's what Laura said, Charlie.
Ooh. Although we did hear there are certain jokes that are off limits. Just know there was an inquiry. Hey, how does Charlie respond to certain? Nope, never that. Don't do that. We're not gonna. Respectfully, I just want you to know.
I have very, very few limits, as everyone who knows me knows. But there are a couple of things that I don't joke about because they are uncomfortable and they cause problems with people.
Like hemorrhoids.
Those jokes are hemorrhoids, yes. You never call another man's wife a name, even joking around, because it can't. Right now, it's funny. 2 more beers, not so funny. And we don't mess around when it comes to kids. Those are my only 2 lines. Other than that, I mean, we can make ass rape jokes. We can talk about selling at them for stickers. Those, yes, 50-50.
A lot of work.
How do you feel about your sticker profit share arrangement? Seems to me like you're doing all the work.
I could take all the stickers. I'm giving you something.
I do want some of the stickers.
All right, so the show has gone pretty much exactly as planned. In that vein, Adam, I'm going to allow you the parting question before we play your standard creepy outro. I'm going to ramble just a touch so you can think about it. Just realize that this show ends with the question that you ask. Make it a good one.
Is this real wood I see?
This is real wood from many, many stolen pallets. There's maple, there's cedar, and there's plenty of pine. But thank you for noticing the finer touches of the tap room and all of the various woods that we have in our tap room.
You're welcome.